another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comfort together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling. And hello. I just feel like cutting to the chase today, child. Hello to all of you out there in Facebook land and YouTube land, honey, and Instagram and all the other little places that you may be watching this, honey. Thank you for coming in. It's another glorious day, my tea sippers, that you know what time it is. So I'm trusting that you got all of your crumpets together, my darling, because it's time to dish tea, and you are dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat. What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? Listen, I did I usually do the singing and carrying on. I just didn't feel all that right now. I'm opening up because I was going to start off a little differently, but I'm sitting up here listening to reports, and y'all know usually I don't talk about those housewives stuff and carrying on because that's not what we do over here. However, it has just been reported, and I've been seeing this most of the day, that Nene Leakes' husband, Greg, has made transition. And I'm I'm not a fan of those housewife shows or whatever, but I do want to send condolences out to her and to the franchise and carrying on, because that's such a devastation. Because I have folks around me who watch the show and carrying on, I am abreast of it. But I do know that at one point in time, on one of the seasons or whatever, they had been dealing with that, and he had beat the cancer and this, that, and other. But then, unfortunately, it had come back. And I'm just listening to a YouTube video just now, and something had happened where she was at her club, and some children come up in there, they pissed because she's not saying happy birthday to them and being all lit and this, that, and the other with them. And they accused her of being rude. And so she took to the mic and told them, honey, no, I'm not being rude or whatever, honey, but my husband just made transition, and I'm trying to deal with this. And yet, still trying to run a business because life still goes on. So I just want to extend condolences over there to that particular franchise. It seems like a lot of us are going through what we're going through and carrying on. I just found out today as well that you guys know that the Country Kitchen Buffet is one of our major sponsors. And I went over there today, and I found out that the owner, Pastor Jimmy over there, he's dealing with the loss of his father. Okay, so, honey, listen, life is really, 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 really wreaking havoc on the children, honey. We are all being thrust into a state of being where we really are understanding that it's not what's on the other side. And I love when Helena Hologram comes and she said the most important thing on your tombstone and on the damn obituary, honey, is the dash in the middle, honey. What did you do with your dash? What will your dash say? Whatever year, dash, whatever year. Child, is that dash that's the most important. So I just want to send condolences and things over there to that particular camp. And whether you liked her or not, right now she's hurting and she's ailing. And it's best that we just send positive energies and things over there. Y'all know I say send up praise reports because I don't necessarily pray anymore. I always say that praises is what gets prayers answered, because oftentimes we always begging for God to do something.
God this, God that.
And we beg and beg and beg. And if you got faith, I thought you said ask once and then walk in it as if it's already done. So we send up praise reports over here. It's my praise report that healing and magistration and understanding and wisdom and strength and mercies and comfort and things reign in her household and with her family, their children and things of that nature. So that there is that. What you say, Princess? Ed Asner passed away today too. Ed gone?
Ed who?
Ed Asner. For those of you who don't know who Ed Asner was, he's best known for being on Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh God!
Oh my God, Ed Asner. Wow.
I know who that is.
Wow.
God damn.
He was such a staple. He was 91 years old. Okay, 91. Wow. See, yeah, the kids are coming up out here, honey. They're leaving this side of creation, going on to whatever the next expression of life is.
Just leave me some money.
Okay. And things of that nature, honey. So it's that time. It's that time, honey. It's just that time. And listen, this is just August, honey. Y'all know the holiday season, honey, is when it sucks it to all of us, child. Okay. So, yes. Chris, what is this? Now, I have to ask this because of the title. Micro is a small chips, or is it electronic ones? Okay, we're going to get into that. Okay. What you say? Neither sounds appealing. Okay, right. We're going to get into that. As a matter of fact, let's segue into it, because I was trying to figure out how I'm going to go into this. Yes, he was Mary's boss on the show. Yes, he was, honey. On the Mary Tyler Moore show. That's what he's best known for. Ed Asner, that is. But we got a number of things that we're going to get into today. Is I said what I said. Sundays, honey, this is where I give you an opportunity to come on up in here and to be part of the show, honey. If you got something on your mind that you want to talk about, I'm going to let you in here. You got 5 minutes, honey. 5 minutes. But if you come up in here, you got to come up in here correct. Okay? If you come out of a bag, baby, I'm going to come out of a bigger bag, because we don't do fuckery and bullshit over here. If you're going to come up in here with something, it could be controversial. Just be sure that you're going to make sure you're able to support your point in case your points are being challenged. But this is not about trying to cuss somebody out and just trying to sit down here and just have at it because you have a platform. That's not what we do over here. We have intelligent discussions, intelligent conversations. We have interactive debates and carried on that is for the betterment of the people, not to come up in here and to sit up there and try to neck roll because you're trying to be right. That's not what we do over here, okay? So if you're coming up here with fuck shit, honey, trust me, you will get cussed the fuck out, okay? And then I'll hang up on you and block you, because I don't tolerate that. My nerve just can't take it. I'm at a certain age right now. I just can't. Okay, I just can't. So because of that, darling, let me start off with, because Chris asked about the microchips and carrying on. I want to cover this particular story because I had somebody, my neighbor, Kelly, was explaining to me that her stepfather, he's a conspiracy theorist and carrying on. And he was saying that folks are talking about, being chipped and this, that, and the other, and how if you take the vaccine or whatever, that you're being magnetized and this, that, and the other. Well, I was like, okay, I had not heard that story and this, that, and the other. And I didn't understand what, you hear a lot of shit on these so-called little do-wah-diddy little things, right? And you have to take it with a grain of salt, more than a grain of salt, honey. Sometimes you just got to flush that shit down with some water if you're trying to digest it, because some of the time it's so far out there to it doesn't make a lot of sense. However, I'm gonna play 3 different things that's on this microchip thing, and I want you to pay attention, okay? First, let's start with the news story that was rather interesting to me, okay? Because these are conspiracy theorists that are in Ohio. Now, they're on the state legislative floor talking about this, okay? This particular piece comes from, this is MSNBC, I believe, okay? So wait a minute. Before I do, hold on. Let me go to my banners because I want to let this banner be rolling on the bottom because everything that we're using here is going to be covered up under the Copyright Act of 1976. And we're saying this is fair use protection, okay? This is a news story and things of that nature. So I want to make sure that we've covered this, okay? Wait a minute. What you say? You're already chipped. It's that annoying little black rectangle rectangle in your pocket that likes to ring at inconvenient times. Say it, Chris. Cause you know you right. You are 1,000% right on that, honey. These goddamn little phones. These little cellular devices and carrying on, honey, they're the world's best tethers. Okay, we're gonna get into that in a minute. Let me start by playing this first clip. Okay, I'm gonna play this first. Okay.
Last thing before we go tonight, the train to Crazy Town made an unscheduled whistle stop in Ohio this week. You're about to hear from a doctor and a nurse, medical professionals who have had contact with patients. They happen to be anti-vaxxers and conspiracy theorists. You've no doubt heard the conspiracy theory that they are injecting some sort of electronic tracking device in liquid form through a needle into our arms. But this, at a committee hearing in the Ohio legislature, this was next level.
Is it a combination of the protein, which now we're finding has a metal attached to it? I'm sure you've seen the pictures all over the internet of people who've had these shots and now they're magnetized. They can put a key on their forehead, it sticks. They can put spoons and forks all over them and they can stick. Because now we think that there's a metal piece to that. There's been people who've long suspected that there was some sort of an interface, yet to be defined, an interface between what's being injected in these shots and all of the 5G towers.
Yes, vaccines do harm people. By the way, so I just found out something when I was on lunch, and I wanted to show it to you. We were talking about Dr. Tenpenny's testimony about magnetic vaccine crystals. So this is what I found out. So I have a key and a bobby pin here. Explain to me why the key sticks to me. It sticks to my neck, too. I got those. Yeah, so if somebody can explain this, that would be great. Any questions?
Yeah, so many questions. And while the demonstration didn't work out as well as she had planned, on the upside, it launched so many memes, some of them downright artistic. And a number of people applauded the convenience of being magnetized when you're going through your house and you can't find your keys. Now that we've had our fun, though, this is what anti-vaxxers and conspiracy theorists sound like. It's all crap, and in pandemic times, it's actually a danger to public health. And remember, the Russians give it a boost on social media because weakened adversaries are better for them. And at the end of the day, our parents were right. It's all fun and games until someone gets hurt. That is our broadcast for this Wednesday night, with our thanks for being here with us. On behalf of all of our colleagues at the networks of NBC News, good night.
Okay, so that there is the first one, and that one, I got to get my dates right, but that was last year in 2020, okay? I got to pull up the date on that. I thought it was going to say that in the report, but it doesn't. That there was that, okay? So now, and it's in that time because we're talking vaccines and carrying on, right? Now let me play something else that comes from 60 Minutes, okay? This particular clip comes from 60 Minutes, and this is something that the government is working on. that the government is working on for military intelligence. Check this out. Okay. And then y'all see that? That's from 60 Minutes. That's from 60 Minutes. Okay. Now, again, I got to get the dates on this because that's just recently. Okay. And I want to say the last time I saw that, I think that was 2015, I think. Okay. But I got to look at the dates again. But I'm playing this because I want you to pay attention now. Now, let me play this one. This one is a little older, but catch this. This is called Biohacking Your Body. Okay, catch this.
Right. This is Megan. Hey there, Megan. Hey. She's about to be one of the world's newest grinders, people who biohack their bodies with implants for extra human abilities. So, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, let's do this.
And Seattle biohacking pioneer Emil Grafstra is the man with the steady hands implanting this.
Oh, there it goes.
A chip for radio frequency identification, or RFID.
Deep breath in. That's it.
Wasn't as bad as I thought.
I didn't see any wincing on your face. Okay.
Megan is now one of a small but growing group of people embarking on high-tech upgrades. Why?
I have a belief that most things in life are improvable and that it's our responsibility to act on that improvement.
This is one thing you could do. Keyless home entry. Emil, he's been biohacking himself the past 10 years. He shows off scars from past experiments. Today, he's got 2 RFID chips you can see through his skin.
When you do that, you can actually see it quite well.
And as founder of Dangerous Things, he sells do-it-yourself hacker kits. He sold a few thousand, he says, with interest from the US to Sweden and Japan, and thinks big-name tech has bought samples to learn from.
Samsung, Google, Apple. I'm sure there's a lot of skunkworks programs in these companies that are looking at implantable devices like this.
Emil can also do this. A magnet in his pinky has given him a 6th sense, feeling magnetic fields.
There.
Can I feel it?
Give it a good...
Oh, there it is.
It's also given him surprises. He gets a little jolt when walking through metal detectors, feels a microwave when it's on, and because his laptop lid has magnets...
If I just let my finger drift a little bit, it'll turn off the MacBook.
But pros outweigh cons, says Emil, and he estimates 3,000 to 5,000 people in the U.S. are grinders. Like Neil Harbison, the world's first person with an antenna implanted in his skull. Born colorblind, he now sees colors. Rich Lee has small magnets implanted just outside his ear canal to listen to music. And Stephen Mann, dubbed the world's first cyborg by many, has worn a computer vision system for more than 3 decades. Debbie Chatra, biohacking expert, says time leads to acceptance.
It's pretty easy to imagine that some of the technologies that are totally, blue sky ideas today are going to eventually become sort of accepted parts of who we are, who our bodies are.
Into the future, Emil says you shouldn't fear tech in your lives or in your bodies. Education is needed.
So if you know about it and you know what's going on and you know how to control it, then there's nothing to be afraid of.
Opening doors without keys could be just the start.
Okay. And then you have that. Now, that bio thing, as you say, from Bloomberg, that there, I went back and looked at all the dates. The clip from 60 Minutes is 4 months old. They just did that 4 months ago this year. The other clips were done in 2020. So this is relatively new information. Okay. So because of that, this here. Do all the conspiracy theorists, honey? Do they have merit to their arguments or whatever? What is going on here to where now we have all this going on? I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know. Those of y'all who are of a certain age, y'all will remember this. Okay, back in 1982, and y'all heard me say this before. 1982, they used to hand out flyers all across Detroit, honey, about the mark of the beast. And used to talk about how they used to come up with these little electronic chips that they were going to put up on everybody's skin. And this, that, and the other, honey, to control this and do this and to do that. And everybody thought it was crazy. It was nonsense and this, that, and the other. Not too long after that, that was 1982. Maybe about a year, 10 years later, that's when we had the Noor plant. And it got up under the skin, and for women to be, it was the birth control or whatever that they were putting on poor folks and those in the ghettos and all of that to try to curtail them from having so many kids and being on welfare and all that kind of shit. Then as technology came what it is, we got the microchips in the dogs, okay, to where you can get Rover and Spot and Carrying On and Fifi, they could sit down there and get the microchips so that if they're lost or whatever, they could find who they are and this, that, and the other, all the information to carry on. Which is to say, we don't have a microchip for it, but ain't that what they do with our passports? All of your shit is on the passport. So what if they took that technology and inserted that into a chip or whatever, and this, that, and the other? That there's what everybody has been talking about these microchips and this, that, and the other. Well, I just showed you three different videos that are basically just up under 365 days old, that now this technology here is becoming on the forefront and on the fast track to becoming our reality. So are the conspiracy theorists, do they have merit for their arguments or what? Okay, I'm going to go to the comments. Red, I see you in here. Let me bring you in here because I don't know how much time you got to be up in here. Let me bring you in. Hey, baby.
What's happening? What's happening, everybody?
What no good?
Same old shit, different day. Toilets goddamn shine the same.
Okay. So, wait a minute. I'm trying to go back to where, okay. Okay, right here. This is where I left off at. Okay,
hey, when they gonna come out with a chip that you put in your penis to let you know the pussy bad?
See, you know what? We ain't gonna start.
I'm just saying. That chip should make it rise up, look at you with that one good eye, and be like.
He said, with the one good Jesus. Amy says, hey, y'all. I work IT. Okay, I got jokes for these. Okay. I got jokes on these for days. Okay. Chris is 100% correct. Okay. Okay. Yes. Pretty sure that keys aren't magnetic. Okay. Right. Come on now. Nobody actually believes there is even metal on the periodic table. You can be injected with enough of it to make you magnetic and not kill you. Child, listen, we ingest metal. How about that? We ingest metal in the foods and Carrying On, honey. If you're using a cast iron skillet, honey, we get the iron and stuff from the cast iron skillet. It infuses in the food.
Okay, but you know what? If mercury is considered a liquid metal, right, in a chemical form, why is it so bad for us to be injected in us?
Well, some of us are allergic to it. So it's not necessarily why is it so bad. Some of us are allergic. I know I'm allergic to it. That's because I can't eat shellfish. The iodine and mercury. Yeah.
Well, you don't eat fish all the way around the board, so it's good.
Well, anyway, unless it's fried. Fish is vicious and never nutritious. Unless it's fried.
Oh. You like that crunchy hard fish. I got it. I understand.
From a skillet, baby. From a skillet only. Okay. James Bond had a tracker like that put in his body on Casino Royale, but the cell phone is always tracking us. Listen, that cell phone is a motherfucker, honey. How is it that you can sit down here and we have this thing called Google Maps and Carrying On, and you put in a location, and then the satellite can sit down there. I don't care where you are. It'll tell you where you are and map out a route of how you can get there. If you don't believe that you're being tracked, child, stop it. Okay. What the hell?
the kicker to that, Meech, is what people don't understand. See, folks always ignoring little bitty notes and little things in their phone because it's not important to their regular doggone everyday activities.
Right.
But if you look at your phone, if you go somewhere and you stay more than 3 minutes in that spot,
That's right.
you pull away, the very bottom of your phone gonna have a note and ask you, how did you like that place over there,
Yeah.
chicken somebody?
Sure
Or
enough,
what
sure
do you think about this place? And you're looking at your phone like, who in the hell told you I was there? You know?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
That's how people get caught up. You think don't nobody know nothing about what you're doing, and then you get home and leave your phone on the table, and it says, how would you like to rate LaQuinta in?
Right, exactly. Did you say right. Okay. Exactly. Okay. Okay. That part. Okay. Chris says, I gotta wonder though, these people claiming to be being magnetized, how many of them might be doing it to purposefully make people look bad, control opposition, so to speak. You know what? Hey, in this day and age where we have Photoshop and this, that, and the other, listen, back in the day, that was a scientific experiment. Remember how we was able to, if you licked a spoon or something, it was because of the heat from your body or whatever that was. I think you licked it or whatever. You could get a spoon to stand on your nose or whatever. You could stand the spoon directly on your nose and make it stand straight up. It's a certain way to do it because it's all about science and the gravity force, this, that, and the other. So in that, we already know that it can happen. But what we have is like folks will Photoshop something and they get cleverly to edit something or whatever to make it manipulate the public opinion out here to sit down and say, yes, this can happen and blah, blah, blah.
So what is the magnetic formula of attraction when it comes to metals? Okay, so because some metals don't attract.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what if they mess around and put the wrong chips in? What if they put your partner end up with a chip that's a total attraction to the chip that you got, and then once you go in, you can't come out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like you only got one shot. You're in, now you're in there. You can't even stroke. You're stuck.
You know what? I'm not gonna deal with you.
No, it's the thought, man. You gotta think. Everybody can know exactly what's going on. I mean, come on. How do you explain that? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You and a homeboy is a hookup thing, right? And everything, and now he's stuck over there until y'all figure out how to demagnetize.
Right. Okay. Hot water ain't gonna do it. Okay.
Right.
Technology is constantly moving forward aggressively. Black folks receive their chips through ingestion. Popeye's sick chicken sandwich was the culprit. Stop. Okay.
Actually, hey, say what you want to, because anybody can sell out.
Hey.
Okay, and Popeye's probably sold out to the government, and all that money behind that sandwich, that marketing and branding.
Hello. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna put it to you like this. What was the name of the little movie where the child found out they had the restaurant and the chicken wasn't selling till the guy came in and he accidentally put the weed in the grease?
Oh yeah, trap.
Okay, and then all of a sudden, now folks started finding out why and this, that, and the other. And so they was coming and kind of like the chicken craze and why, okay.
Because my thing is this. They did all that crazy shit, buying up sandwiches and selling them to the people in the back of the line for twice as much you paid for them and all that hustling shit. And me and you both know there's a restaurant, Chicolo's, killing that sandwich, bro.
Baby, listen, there's a place down here in East Point, okay, which is right the next town over. I'm in College Park. East Point is the next town over. Little joint there called Chicolo's, honey. And when I tell you that motherfucking Chicolo's sandwich is not to be misguided, and there's no way I'm gonna mislead you to a wrong, any kind of wrong food, honey, because I'm such a foodie. That motherfucking chicken sandwich right over there, baby, it is seasoned perfectly. They don't even need the brioche bun, honey, because that bitch is deep fried so deliciously, child. And Carrie, wait, ikapatata. Okay. My God, today. Okay. Yes. Okay. Ooh. That's all that.
The chicken had him speaking the tongue.
Okay. Chandela Shoto Ashata. Okay. Yes. Okay. What'd you say? No, I'm good. I'm glad I got out of the Navy when I did. How about that? Okay. You need something to tell when it's bad. Okay. Well, perhaps. Okay. Okay, Aaron. Okay, he forgot to put this. He must have hit the comment. Yeah, we do. But when you ever eat enough iron to pick up a set of keys, honey. Well, it's you know what the whole iron is not a magnetic thing, honey. Now, if you remember when we went in science class and they showed you what iron does when you have the sulfur and stuff in it, and you can sit down there with a magnet and the magnet will pull the sulfur because the sulfur and everything attracts the magnet, and remember because it would be in powder and there'd be all the dust and stuff on the end of the magnet and carrying on. The metals and stuff are already in the body for whatever reasons, honey. We don't understand the entire makeup of our body because we got shit internally that is a delicate balance of why this stuff is here. It's in there for a reason. It's why they would sit down there and tell you that radon or whatever, these are pesticides and these goddamn chemicals are supposedly harmful or whatever. But do you know the FDA will sit down there and say that a legal amount of the goddamn killer, the agent is they have a satisfied amount to where companies could actually put this amount of this damn arsenic or whatever in the food and be legal?
They also have a set amount of metals that they can put in baby food.
Yes. So it's already there legally. Okay. So now what the conspiracy theories are trying to talk about is already done on one particular aspect. So now are we creating a generation of fear and all of this because of the vaccine talk or whatever? Or are we sitting up there trying to prepare ourselves for this so-called apocalypse that everybody just wants to have? You know,
they don't want that. They don't want that. They talk a lot.
I know that because we got the Christian children telling us we in the last days of and Jesus is on the way back, and Lord knows the four horsemen of the apocalypse are going to come down. We got the conspiracy children over here talking about the apocalypse is coming, and et cetera, et cetera. So we have that to contend with, and so we get it on both ends, and then now for everybody who's going through the notions of trying to understand what's what, honey, what do we do? Okay, what do we do? What is it that we want to believe? How do we believe in it, et cetera, et cetera? Okay, that there becomes the question. Okay, Chris says, I got a better one. Amazon once mailed a man a congratulation letter about his pregnancy because it figured out his daughter was pregnant from her surgery. Wow, really? Your story, send me that link. I want to know that. I've not even heard that.
Okay.
What'd you say? She didn't even know yet. Oh, wait a minute. Oh.
The girl didn't even know she was pregnant yet. And Amazon mailed her dad a congratulations letter on the new pregnancy because of the stuff based on what she was searching on the internet.
Wow.
And they snitched on her. They snitched on her. Well, you know what? That was dry snitching.
Okay.
Because they didn't really, it wasn't direct snitching. It was dry snitching because they didn't know exactly who. You know what I'm saying? They just was telling. You can give them information and not know you're destroying somebody.
Okay, what you say, Aaron? You cannot be tracked by your phone number with pictures. No, I doubt that, honey. I doubt that because see the phone number. See what happens is your phone. The phone itself is not necessarily the phone number. It's the phone itself. Have you ever looked at your phone? Your phone has an IP address.
Yep.
Okay, just like a computer, your phone has an IP address, and it also has an IMEI number. Okay,
That's a chip.
that IMEI number, honey, it tells you what exact phone that you have that's registered to you, and it'll sit down there and get all that information, honey. Yes.
That phone will tell you, the IME number will tell you how many people own it, what networks it's been on.
Exactly.
Is any money still owed on it?
Right. Right.
All kind of business.
Yeah, Google location history is eye-opening. Hello. I'm going to tell you what else is eye-opening. If y'all sit up there, I used to do this all the time, but Facebook, you could opt out of it now, but if you turn on your location in Facebook, honey, it'll tell you how many friends are around you and carrying on your Facebook so you can say hi to them and blah, 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 blah. And then as they go, y'all probably seen that, if you sit up there and do a check-in on your Facebook or on Growler or on all the dating sites or whatever and say, oh, we done checked in here, and it gives you a timestamp. So now if somebody trying to follow you, honey, they're like, okay, they just went to the hotel here, and this, that, and the other, because you checked in and blah, 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 blah. Oh, yes, honey. Oh, honey. Big Brother, they got this shit sophisticated. Okay. Determined Dan says, I don't know about microchips, but people must decide between public safety or freedom. The vaccine passport is no different from the Star of David. I think all would be downfall of man. Okay, it says air, but I think you meant to say all. Okay. Damn, that chicken sandwich made you get a church nut, honey. Listen, I'm telling you about the chicken sandwich, honey. I'm gonna tell you about chicken. Ooh, okay. EBB. Ashata. Okay. That chicken sandwich ain't no joke, baby. It ain't no joke. Okay. Your chat is in a few minutes behind, it seems. Made one of my jokes missed by a mile. No, what it is, child. As I'm going down the comments, I'm getting to the comments as I'm going through. It's been up here for a minute. I'm just trying to go down the line to get to all of my comments. Okay. So yeah. Okay. And then they're usually the ones that want to go to war. How about that? That there is true. A lot of the conspiracy theories are carried on. Yes, child. Okay. It's just fear. What would be, will be. We can't stop it. Well, here's what it is. It's more than just fear. It's more than just fear because what it is control. Okay. Remember, the greatest hoax was War of the Worlds when Orson Welles did this whole. It was a script on radio. And everybody thought that the world was coming to an end and we about to go to war and this, that, and the other off of a radio drama. Okay. So what we have here is the art of manipulation and the art of control. This is one of the reasons why when I keep telling y'all that I feel like I was forced into this damn vaccine is because everything now starts to close in on folk. It's not that folk, when folks feel as though they don't have the option of choice. Okay, when choice becomes ultimatum, how about that? Because you're given a choice, but the ultimatum becomes it's either this or that, and I have no wiggle room around anything else. I don't get to say, well, let me think about it or let me press pause or whatever, because everybody else gets to say, oh, well, you wrong for having a thought. Oh, you wrong. And just like y'all did me, well, don't you want to sit down and make sure that you're saving somebody's life? You don't want to die, do you? You don't want that, bitch. I didn't ask for all of that. I said, give me a moment to process. Can I have that moment? But nobody wants to do that, okay? Because if I say, let me process it, I got y'all sitting up there saying, oh, well, you need to do this because so you don't die. I got these bitches on this side saying, you don't need to be bothered with that bullshit. That's man-made. Fuck all that shit. No, don't be sitting on there with the government. They using you as a pawn, as a toy. And I got all this in my head. Just let me be me. Can I have a thought? Can I be free to say, okay, let me weigh out my options? That's not what we're doing anymore. There's no longer choice. We have ultimatums now. We're not the land of free thinking. We're the land of ultimatums. It's either you do this or you do that. It's black and white. Usually there's options. You can either do this or this or this or this or this. You decide which route you want to take. You know? So that's where this has become. So this is more than just fear. This is about control. It's more than fear. Well, Biden certainly looks persistent. Pestilence. Likes pestilence, rather. Wait a minute, let me read that again. Well, Biden certainly looks like pestilence. Never seen something so sickly looking that wasn't dead. Y'all let Biden be. Y'all know he got to put on his little makeup and carrying on. Okay. He got to put on makeup for the camera and carrying on. And shit, he's 80 years old. What did you think? Okay. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're feeling much better, Meech. I am. I'm not at 100% just yet. I think I just slid up to 90. Okay. Because I feel like I can move and groove a little bit. I'm not as lethargic as I was a few hours ago. So yeah, we're getting there. Whatever the side effects of this shit is, it's passing. Okay. I'm sorry, but you can be tracked by your phone number. Yes, Aaron. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, honey. Okay. Android automatically registers you for photo backup to Google Drive. Your photos metadata contains the exact EPS coordinates the photos were taken and when, and Google does look through them. Hello, you better understand that. Yes, they do, because have you noticed that when Google backs it up, they categorize it and carry it on? They even let you know when an anniversary of the photo is, child. This is what you did 3 years ago. This is what you did. Okay.
They let you know they watch. They let you know they watching.
Yes.
Hey, that's like a gangster hit you with a wink. Hey, this is you with your last woman.
Right. Okay. Right. You know, hell, how many of y'all would they sit down there and Google itself in Google Photos or whatever, they would put together what they call a snapshot or group the pictures together to where they would sit down there and categorize it for you. I haven't even named shit, and it's come up with possible names for this group of pictures, or it will put alike pictures together or whatever. And how about this? It also does this. Like if I have a photo ID, like in your phone, you put pictures there of everybody in your phone. So I have your name or whatever. So now it does and goes through, and all the pictures I have of you, it'll mark you in it. Oh yeah, honey. Oh yes. Facebook location also recommends people you may know based on who was nearby, like friend suggestions. As a bartender, this is how strange, creepy men would friend request me on Facebook while sitting at my bar, waiting on me to check it. Damn, ain't that nothing? Now that's fucked up right there. Facebook is intrusive as hell. I was searching for urns for my stepfather's ashes on my mother's phone. Next thing I know, recommendations for urns popped up on my feed, and me and my mom aren't even Facebook friends. Wow. How about that? Okay. Mm-hmm. Facebook listens to you when it's idle. It records your conversations to gather advertising info. This is why the data breach issue is so huge. Oh yes, honey. Oh yes. Because listen, Google does it too. Google and Yahoo. How about this? Listen, I'm telling y'all, How many times have y'all thought about something and it's almost as if the damn thing is in your mindset or whatever? I've gone to YouTube and tried to search some shit. I'm like, damn, let me look up this Stephanie Mills song. And I would go through, and I know it's a song she hasn't recorded. I know it's a song she sang live on television somewhere. I would put in maybe the first three letters of it, and it'll pop up at the first search read. I'm like, what the, how did you, so it becomes that kind of thing. Even when you search for something, let's take tote. Y'all seen the bag Totes and Carry, right? Which is a black-owned luxury bag. I bought two pieces. Okay, I have a laptop bag and I got a messenger bag. Right, I'm going to. We got to talk about how we're gonna get the duffel bag. I need the duffel bag. Okay, so now that I bought from them. Every time I go up on my Facebook, that's one of the things that pop up, Tote and Carry, or if I like some of my shirts I got from Melanin Tees or whatever, that's another one that pop up as far as because I've gone to their particular websites or whatever. So yeah, honey, this shit here, it gets to be that way. Okay, it gets to be that way. Okay, by the way, that Google Drive also cross-references your download photos against a database for CRC hash values for various illegal content too. Which, if the FBI did if the FBI did, it would be a crime. Listen, because of the algorithms and carrying on, okay, oftentimes they cross-reference and carrying on to see. This is how they track a lot of the sex trafficking and carrying on, those who are into child pornography and that kind of shit. And I understand who they're trying to go after because that's what they're trying to tell you. Oh, this technology is here so we can get to these particular people and blah, 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 blah. But no, y'all been watching everything because remember on the telephone, back when, for those of y'all who may be too young to remember this, back when telephones were telephones and we would have the rotary dial and you had to connect through the operator. The operator had to sit down there and they had pull cord. They connected operator and they would take a cord and connect you to the call, right? Then when you need to do a breakthrough emergency, the operator will interrupt your call. Pardon the interruption. This is the operator. We have an emergency call breakthrough. So they were already listening. Okay. Then when three-way calling came about, well, you could just click over because now we got rid of rotary dial phone to get the push button. Now, since they're not connecting the calls, all they got to do is wire it. And so now, remember back in the 80s when we had the party line because you was already on the phone, but you heard somebody else's conversation. And then if the connection was cute, y'all could talk back and forth and didn't know that. But bitch, who you talking to? Who on the line? You got a party line. Okay. That there was them already listening then. Okay. So that is child by. And then how many times have y'all heard a lot of the clicking? Have y'all been on the phone and you just heard it click, 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 click? All that clicking carried on because they've been in and out the line. You done said a word, said something that triggered them to where now they're trying to figure out and find where it is. That's the quote unquote war on drugs and all that bullshit. They knew where the hell they were going. They knew exactly who to tap. Y'all see it all the time in all of the old movies when we had the pull cords or whatever. If you paid somebody, y'all know what's my show? Let's Do It Again with Sidney Poitier and Richard Pryor. And Bill Cosby. And they were sitting up there trying to get to Kansas City, Mac and carrying on. What did they do? They went to the telephone company, paid the operator the coin, and she intercepted the call. So it's nothing that they haven't been doing. They've been doing it. They have the streets of San Francisco. Y'all remember that when they talk about tap the line? You got to keep them on the line for 20 minutes so that they can trace the call. That stuff ain't new. So now that the technology, no, you ain't, you old hateful heifer. You hateful and you mean and you shady. You hateful and you mean and you shady. You hear me? You are hateful and you are mean and you are definitely shady.
What happened?
Right. Hey, for hoe. Go sit up there, go get some damn white and the cheeseburgers on top of it. Why have the cheeseburgers?
Right.
Not the clutch. The clutch. That's all right. That's all right. I got me some peach cobbler from Country Kitchen.
I figured you would.
Oh, child, but you know I had to bring it home. So a lot of this stuff that we're talking about, they have been doing this for years. Soon they will be switching to having artificial intelligence do that. You say AI, not Al. It's artificial intelligence. Yes, they already got it. What are you talking about? Soon they will be switching. Artificial intelligence is already doing that. Okay, we just got somebody guiding over and carrying on. That's all. Child, please. Everything is trying to go into that robotic wave because they wanted to be on a time system, because they don't want humans to, the whole human touch of it is where this is. That's all on the time. That's why that's why everything is digital and can be recorded and this, that, and the other. That's child. You're right.
Hi, how you doing? Yeah. How you doing today?
Listen, let me put it to you like this. How many times have y'all called to try to pay your bill, right? But you done went through this whole thing on the day of internet, on the phone. They say, hi, this is the automatic system, honey. Just give me your I'm going to pull your account up here. What would you like to do? Would you like to this? Would you like to this? And when you said, let me speak to somebody, oh, I don't understand that command. But before we go here, let me see if I can help you first. Okay? I'm like, bitch, customer service. I'm sorry, customer service agent is not available at this time. But maybe I could, before we click you over, can we see if we could, would you like to make a payment? What? No, bitch, customer service. And if you say it too many times, they'll hang you up. The way you got to call back into the system. Okay. Now, how many times put your account number in that motherfucker? Put it in there for when you get to the damn agent, that's supposed to pop right up, right? Because you transfer me to the agent. Why is it that the agent got to go clicking it back in again? That's all. Okay, the children. Okay, the children. Okay. As fast as people are getting sick and dead, the virus is pushing this thing. The deaths are real, or somebody is killing them. Listen, Aaron, baby. We get that. Death and this shit is not, you can't refute that. The problem is that everybody is so busy. You just said that this is fear, right? It's fear. All right? What it is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be, right? That's what you just said. The problem is that we cannot dispute death. We cannot dispute that the virus is here. What we can dispute is trying to get people at least wear the damn mask to do what you need to do to protect yourself. If you're not ready to take the virus right now, then there's going to be consequences. You're not going to be able to do this because they're going to mandate that you have the damn vaccine card or whatever, right? You got to prove either if you don't do that, then that means you got to stay tested. Because remember, before the vaccine was there, they want to make sure that you stay tested. You got to constantly get a test. When they started to open everything back up, they wanted to make sure that you get a test. If you found out that you was around a lot of people, or at least this is what we did, because our circle, Redneck, we do it all the time. And we found ourselves that we was somewhere where it was too many damn people. And our mood wasn't there. We went to go get a new test. Let me make sure I'm still good. Okay. And this, that, and the other. Same thing I do with HIV. I take my HIV test every 6 months. I've been doing that since I was 16. I'm 51. I still take an HIV test every 6 months. Okay. Same shit, to make sure that we do what we do. And it's not necessarily about fear. It's to make sure that I'm good, because I know I got to go interact with everybody, and everybody else is not on the same wavelength. And that's fine. But we can't bully folks into it out of that whole fear thing, because what everybody is rejecting, what everybody is slamming it so hard against, is you telling me what I can and cannot do. When AIDS hit and we were sitting up there telling everybody, only thing we told them, oh, you got to use condoms. You got to use condoms. You either use condoms or you can't have sex. You got to use, and everybody's like, fuck that. What the hell do you mean? What I can and cannot do? We got out of risk reduction. Maybe if you pull back on not having so many sex partners, okay, would you agree to this? Would you, and make them a part of the process? It gave folks the ability to say, okay, these are my choices, and I'm able to feel like I can do this. You know, because I'm not being told. Y'all know that. Y'all know you can't tell. We tell this to kids all the time. And every time you tell a teenager or a kid or something, you tell them, no, you can't. What's the first thing they run to? That very thing you told them they can't do. Why? Because curiosity starts to do this. Curiosity starts to do that. And as human beings, we all get into that particular thing. Well, why can't I? What does this mean? What does that mean? So when we give folks in the process to feel included, it removes a lot of that fear. It removes a lot of the stigma of it. And we get to sit down there and they can say, okay, this is my decision. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, I have an ultimatum and doing this, and either you're going to do this or it's that. Because now that's what everybody's saying about the vaccine. Either you take the vaccine or you're going to die of COVID. And that's not what this is. Yeah, the variant is super effective, and it can take you out, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna die, because what everybody is doing, and what we have to keep correcting, everybody trying to treat the vaccine as if the vaccine is cure, which is why when you keep hearing that somebody who's been fully vaxxed end up catching COVID-19, the Delta strand, that's going to become the issue. Because I told you. You know, and nobody is paying attention to that. And so this is why the information has got to be out there right. If we're going to do it, let's do it right. Let's do it right. That's the part that I'm sitting there trying to say. All this shit about these damn microchips and carrying on, it feeds into what the conspiracy theories are already talking about. They're the ones already saying that I told you, they were saying this since 1982. That these damn chips were coming. And I just showed you the 60-minute clip when the man said, yeah, we creating this for the damn military. Now, that's where it starts, because I've been told by several military people that they got the best experimental drugs and cures and this, that, and the other, because they constantly going over to all these different countries where all this bullshit at. Okay? So that there is what we have to, that's part of what we have to do away with and get everybody on the same playing field. Okay. What you say, Dan? Big meats, I agree with you. Manipulation and control. George Orwell's 1984 is seeming more close to reality. Remember, socialism is the middle road to communism. Question: are elections an illusion? Very good question. Very, 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 very good question. Very good question. Very good question. Very good. Because one of the things one of the things that we do know is that what we think is government may not be government, and things of that nature. And then here we have local elections and carrying on are local elections. A lot of the elections that become in question becomes the national elections, when we have to do with presidents and stuff, when we're dealing with electoral colleges and this, that, and the other. Because if y'all remember, the electoral colleges and things, that there was put into place just in case the folks felt as though that the people didn't know what they were talking about. Okay. Just in case. Okay. And so now it has taken on a whole different thing now, you know, to where it's not necessarily the people who decide. It's the Electoral College who decides. Because I keep telling everybody with the whole, with number 45, Hillary had won the popular vote. But 45 got the Electoral College. Hillary had won the popular vote. How about that? Okay. So if the people said that she was supposed to win, but the Electoral College said, nah, we're going to throw this over here to give him all the... That's what it is. So you have a very good question. Okay. You know, moved on, and Facebook will remind you of your mistakes. Hello, you better understand. Okay. No such thing as privacy anymore. Was it ever? Was it ever? Especially now that we have co-signed reality show television. I always fuck the name of this movie up. What's the name of the movie? You phone lessons to talk, lessons to you talk. Yeah. Okay. What's the name of the movie with Matthew McConaughey? And that was about the whole idea of his life being videotaped. Everything that he did, the cameras were following him, and everybody was watching him on TV. He was the only one. And carrying on that if anybody remember that movie, I think it came out in the mid-90s. And everybody thought that was ridiculous, honey. But everybody was so fascinated with his life, child. And he signed up for it, but then as it got on, he didn't want the cameras no more, blah, blah, blah. But now he in it. Okay, he done broke up and carrying on. Him and his girlfriend was going through it, and everybody was in his face. Everybody was. Now we have allowed that to become reality here. That's all we talk about. I opened up the show talking about Nene Leakes, okay, and things, and her devastation of Greg transitioning. Okay, now thank God on camera. That she's not on the show to where that was on camera. We got to watch her heartbreak like that. That would have been too much. Okay. However, we are now in that particular thing. So when we talk about privacy and carrying on, where is it? They sit up there and tell you on your phone and on your computer that if you don't want your computer to be turned on or whatever, to put the damn thing on your camera lens so that nobody can watch you. Now, what the fuck is that? Now, when I was a kid, I used to ask my mother all the time about television. Because, when TV used to go off and it folded up and it went down to that white little dot, and then when it cut off, it went, and then it went to black. I've always wondered if we can see them, is there ever a way that they can see us? I asked that to my mother. My mother told me, she laughed, and she told me, "No, baby, they won't be able to do that." But it's the way how she said it, because my mother knows that I was very inquisitive and carrying on, because at that time we had picture tubes and this, that, and the other. But now the whole idea that your cameras and all your little webcams are carrying on, and now televisions are digital now. Your entire TV can be run on the fucking phone, which means that thing, when you opt in and say yes to Facebook and to Instagram and carry on, you give them permission to go into your photos, your contacts. They can make calls and carry on. Have y'all ever read all of that? Have you ever read it? What you agree to? You agree to that. It's not to say that they're going to do it, but you agree to it that they can. Okay. So now the question becomes, why is it that they feel they have the need to do that? We've never even asked them. And here's another thing. I want to know why the hell I can't never get to Zuckerberg or whatever. I can't never get to anybody on these damn things to talk to somebody. Anytime you got questions about Facebook, you're trying to ask why they put you in Facebook jail, how this didn't make up to why wasn't this community standards, how in the hell I get blocked and this person didn't. All I show in my bathing suit or whatever on the beach. And you're going to tell me that's against regulations, but this motherfucker fucking on the camera and didn't nobody flag that yet? Really? So who you watching? And I can't tell you, but yet at the same time, you so busy watching me, but yet you can't tell me how in the hell somebody cloned my account and sit there sending all these damn viruses out under my name. You don't know how to stop that, but you can stop me from posting a goddamn picture, or you can ban me because I cuss somebody the fuck out. Really? Okay. Well, what you say? Okay. Chris says, us IT guys don't use any of these social media shits. Frankly, some of it could literally jeopardize our jobs because it collect company info that can be used to infiltrate our networks. Wow. Now, you know what? I never thought about that. I never thought about that as an IT guy because it's just like anything else. You know, I work in security, so you know, and when I used to work contract houses, it's illegal for you to have two different security jobs because I can't work for one company and then work for another company because that's a conflict of interest because there's two separate companies. And if I want to sit up there and quote unquote exchange secrets or whatever, that's illegal. I never thought about that on the IT side of that, to where as an IT person that you have to now be doubly protective of your shit because you work for something. And hell, you could be in correspondence with your boss or whatever, but if they tap it into your shit, then yeah, they know how to infiltrate your company. Wow. Never thought about that. Never thought about that. Oh, trouble is they go after way more than just the things that are palatable to the public. Sure, they look through your stuff looking for crimes too, but corporate espionage is on the table as well. Oh, of course that. Oh yeah, yeah. Because see, a lot of the times they going through shit because they want to sit up here and know what they could hold over on you. See, those who are in IT, and this is why I get it, but I don't get it at the same time. Because when they tell you that I'm supposed to be on my job and not to bring my personal to my job, why in the hell are you in my Facebook? Why the hell are you on my Instagram and carrying on? And I do when I'm at work, I don't follow my bosses on Facebook. You can have a Facebook account on you. I do not want to befriend you and carry it on because you're my boss. I don't need to know what the fuck is going on in your life like that because you're my boss. And the last thing that I need is to be at work because we are right to work states or whatever, that you decided that it's something about the way how I talk to my friends or the kind of literature that I read because you personally don't like it, that'll be a hair up your ass. And then when I get to work, now you're going to find something to want to fire me because all of a sudden I don't meet company standards on some personal shit. Okay. See, this is why that bothers me. This is why with all the Karens are carrying on. You know, yeah, they cutting up and this, that, and the other. But y'all want to take her to their job. Oh, she needs to be fired from her job. Why? She's not at work when she cutting up. Well, her boss needs to know. No, why she got to lose her livelihood? Okay, because her livelihood is what's making her a productive citizen. Her mouth is what's going to get her ass in trouble and get her ass whooped on the streets. See, that ain't got nothing to do with her goddamn job. Send her ass to work with a black eye. Okay, so that they could ask, what did you do? Because a lot of jobs, they don't have it necessarily. It's an unspoken rule. Now, if you were in entertainment and carrying on in those contracts, the contracts have a morality clause that you can only do X, Y, and Z and this, that, and the other, right? However, most jobs or whatever, they don't tell you that you have to have upstanding moral conduct or whatever, but they're sliding in up under, oh, well, we don't need your services anymore because you're not meeting company expectations. See, that's bullshit. Okay, that there is bullshit. Okay, Red came back. What you laughing at?
I'm laughing because you just said something that hit home with me, right?
Yeah.
I got contracted to do a Wednesday night comedy show, right?
Yeah.
And it was the 1 month thing. He do everything in 1 month in his little spot. So that mean I had to do 4 Wednesdays, right?
Right.
So, but he gave me the paperwork because I told him I needed a deposit up front.
Right.
Because I feel like I don't want you to, you know, if something else come up. Because, you know, promoters and owners, they see money. They don't see people.
Right. Exactly.
Some
Right.
Some come up on a Wednesday, and you'll tell me, I'll be done traveled all the way to your spot. You'll tell me, oh, man, we got something else going on tonight, but appreciate you coming out. Like, where's my money?
Right.
So when I bought this to him, he turns around and give me a 4-page contract. And on the back of the contract, it said, check this out, I have to be discreet and careful about any racist content that I tell jokes about, because they have a diverse crowd. And I absolutely cannot tell any derogatory jokes about club promoters. So, you know me, I'm an asshole. I did everything I was supposed to do. Had repeat people coming back the following Wednesday, the third Wednesday, come the fourth Wednesday.
Right.
I told him, I said, I need to go on second because I got a ride. I got an emergency. I got to go out of town. And my ride will be out there just as soon as I be able to finish that set.
Uh-huh.
You know, he was like, fine. I was like, so can you go ahead and just pay me now? You know what I'm saying? Pay me up front now. And this will end our contract. And then I'll just sit at the bar with you until it's time to go on. You know what I'm saying? That way, you know, I'm just trying to be up out of here. The whole point is I had nowhere to go and nowhere to be. The point was I got my money, and then I hit the stage. Because I hadn't planned on going back to that little hole in the wall.
Exactly.
But when I got up there.
But catch what you said, because everybody catch this. You said, once you give me my money, this will end our contract. Catch that. See, I heard that. Yeah. Go ahead, finish. I heard that.
So I had him pay me, and he wasn't thinking. The contract over. Right. So when I hit the stage, boy, when I say I tore him and the square footage of his club and promoters working for pussy.
Right.
Boy, when I say the promoter have a ladies' night and he don't invite no niggas.
Right.
Well, I was lighting his ass up.
Baby.
See, I told him like this, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna share this with everybody because you know, this is my people, this is my District T folks. I mess with y'all. I told him that he was a part of the promoter and the club owner clan that don't have good sense to realize that if you put your left shoe on the wrong foot, you still got it on right.
Oh. Right. You stupid.
And that way I was able to pick the intellectuals in the crowd because they was the ones laughing.
You are dumb. Hold on, give me some more tea.
I'm just saying that was just sometimes you gotta do that. And I'm gonna tell you something, when you mess with somebody that's on a doggone a less intelligent level and you say something that doggone disrupt their thinking, and you got folks laughing and they don't know why the people are laughing, because he's standing there looking just as dumb.
Okay.
He didn't catch it. It went right over his head.
Exactly.
Something like that. So I'm like, well, I said, if you didn't get that, you know what I'm saying, you might have to hit me up on my Facebook or whatever and inbox me and I'll explain it to you and everything. I said, but for those standing around looking crazy trying to figure out where they went wrong, I'm like, you got that right. And I walked off. And the other the other guys was laughing. They were like, boy, you is stupid as hell, because they knew what I was talking about.
Okay.
And I walked right on out the door.
And there you have it. Where we at? You'll give it to me? Thank you. I remember the emergency breakthrough. You remember that? I'm sorry, operator, we have an emergency breakthrough call, please. Could you please clear the line?
Right. Hello, Princess.
Okay. Hey, Princess, what's up, baby? Let's see. Aaron says it's in stores too. Walmart is the king of face recognition. That's how they catch the children that are kidnapped. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you better bring me back some. I ain't motherfucking playing. You ain't shit, Big Red.
I've been trying to tell you that for the longest, Muscle, but I'm glad you understand.
AI don't snitch. Yeah, that you know what? All artificial intelligence does is record. It doesn't have to snitch. It just records. And once it stores the information, the people who go and access it will be able to snitch. You know? Representative. Okay. Okay. They only want payment. They don't want to talk to us. Okay. That's why. Exactly. Okay. That's all they want, honey. Okay. Hey, Miss. Okay. Damn, I wish I was active enough to need an HIV test every 6 months. Okay, it ain't what it's all cracked up to be, and I'm not as active like that either. But one of the things about HIV is this, and this still has not changed, and that there is, it still has an incubation period of 10 years. Okay, that has not changed over the years of dealing with this disease. Now, what does happen is that now the tests have gotten sophisticated enough to where if you've been exposed to HIV, after 30 days of your last sexual contest, I said contest, Lord. After your sexual encounter, okay, if you have not had sex in 30 days, then that's what they ask. If you have been exposed to HIV, it'll show up within 25 days from your last time you had sex. Okay. Now that means if you're trying to go get a damn HIV test, you want to wait 25 days before you do. You can't be fucking in between tests and think that because you got this test, it's going to be negative or whatever. Okay.
Oh, they think they got a HIV morning after?
Yeah. So that's why, and because and I just shared this with everybody. I don't mind sharing the fact that sex is my addiction, and I'd like to say I don't believe in saying that once an addict is always an addict. I really believe in recovery. It's just that I have to maintain to work on it, you know. But sex is an addiction for me. And back in my day and in my teens and carrying on when I was completely active in this, that, and the other. And acting out, because that's what it was. It was me acting out and carrying on. Yeah, I had to for my own sense of mind and carrying on. Because back in the late 80s and stuff, when this shit first hit, that was pre-condom days. Okay, pre-condom days, child, and hell. Okay, so I still take the test every 6 months, and I do this as well. Like if I'm going to some place where I know it's going to be debauchery, Like if I'm going to Big Boy Pride or those kinds of events, then I make sure that 25 days before I go, I take a test. And a month after I come back from the event, I take a test. So that way I know whether you're going in or coming home. Okay. And that there is just how I govern myself. And again, these are kinds of choices that we make because I don't want to have to take the prep. Okay. Because now they on my doctor is on me. You need to get on this prep. Are you sexually active? Yes, I am. I'm a single man. What you think? You know, well, you need to get on prep. Why? Because if I'm doing what I need to do to take care of me, why are you trying to pump this goddamn pill down my throat? But it's the best thing that, no, why are you pumping this pill down my motherfucking throat and keep telling me that it's free? Somebody paying for it somewhere. And now, in the beginning of all this shit, when it was Truvada that they was giving everybody, now they got a class action lawsuit and telling you Truvada fucking up your goddamn liver that they were giving everybody for free. Okay? But that's me. We pull it in. Okay? Because I feel a tangent. No. Okay? That's the problem. People will not wear the mask. They don't want to wear the mask or get the shot. That is why so many are sick and dying. And that there is part of the gamble. See, a lot of folks want to gamble because they don't believe that this shit is real. Okay? Some folks don't believe fat is greasy, and that's fine. But I kind of feel like there was a guy who stood up there and said, he said, okay, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do this. Okay, that's fine, you don't have to. But damn it, if you don't want to do all this, then when your ass gets sick, honey, keep your ass at home. Take care of yourself at home. Why in the hell you want to bombard the goddamn hospitals and shit because you didn't want to do your part to do this. Okay? You didn't want to do your part. So now why, what they say, poor planning on your part does not necessarily constitute an emergency on mine.
That's true.
Okay? So just because your ass didn't want to do right, now don't come run to me because you in the motherfucking crisis. Okay? And that's how it should be. However, in the medical field don't have that luxury of saying, okay, no, we can't treat you. Although they're getting around that shit because of the damn the religious right law. You know, when the whole thing with transgender and stuff came about, okay, now they can say, oh, well, that's against my religion. You know, I don't, my Christian values will not allow me to accept you as transgender. So I don't have to medically do it. I could come off of this and get another doctor because I don't have to. See, that's what we have a lot happen up in here. Okay? So we done skated around discrimination and stuff by saying, oh, my religious values and that kind of bullshit. Okay? No. Okay? The vaccine was never said to be a cure. I know that. It never did, but folks treated as though it's such. This is how come I can't stand the term, oh, I'm fully vaccinated, because it's political. Everything about this is now becoming a political thing. Listen, take the goddamn shots and just call it grace. We had to do it. We had to go to school. You had to get your measles, double shot. You had to get your damn tetanus shot, and you had the booster shot. You know, you had to do all of that shit. Okay, babies do it. After the first, 30 days, 60 days that the baby that was born, the baby got to go get shots. Okay, so they could start to build their immune system. This is not nothing new and carrying on. It's just that now what we have is that we got a lot of folks that are trying to mandate some shit that a lot of folks can't wrap their head around now because we don't understand what the fuck is going on. Because folks are not being truthful. You keep sitting up here saying believe and trust in the science, but then the science constantly changes on a daily basis on something that's fucking brand new. And you want me to trust it? How can I trust it when it keeps changing? So now I got to sit down here and go with what I believe is going to work for me. So that there becomes different for everybody. Because if you want me to sit down here and take you at face value, today your face is like this. But if somebody knock you in your eye tomorrow, your face is gonna have this goddamn big ass knot. Okay, then you say trust the sign, but you want to look at like that yesterday. What the fuck happened? Oh, nothing. Nothing. The paint just don't mind, but we gonna still deal with it. No, what the hell happened to your eye? And you won't tell me about this, but you want me to trust the sign. But the sign changed.
See the power button?
Okay.
Look.
What'd you say? Now the electoral college was done so that most dense population centers wouldn't determine the election every time. Without the electoral college, nobody would campaign outside of New York and California. You know what? That there, I get you on that. But the electoral college, in the beginning of all that, was when you look it up, they'll tell you a lot of that was to say because they want to make sure that when the folks voted, that they were in their right mind. Because there's a few times, honey, that they decided that folks wasn't voting right. Okay, and that's to sum it up. They got little words about it, but that's to sum it up. Okay, it has on Wilson. Okay, wait a minute. It has on Wilson. Okay, I don't know what that comment was for. Was it Average Joe or something? I think so. Okay. That was Jim Carrey and the Truman Show, unless there's another separate movie. Okay. And no, I think there's another separate movie that I'm talking about. Now the Truman Show, he wasn't aware of it until adulthood. Okay. Could be. I only knew about the show. Okay. Greg died. Yeah. He just died just recently, and so that's been all over in the news and carrying on with Nene and things. So yeah, she this came out of her mouth that he made transition. Okay. Yes, we give away our life and our information. Yes. Okay. Is the movie EDIFICATIon? That might be it. No, wait a minute. I got to find out that movie. Okay, I believe it's illegal to remove something from the TV related to that surveillance, like you said. How Netflix knows you still watching or not? Okay. Yeah, that's the movie Aired TV. It wasn't Owen Wilson. It was Matthew McConaughey. My bad. Oh, that's what you were trying to say. I got it. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey. Okay, Big Meat. Listening to you more pushes me towards reducing tech use when possible. Maybe the old days back in the 1800s ain't too bad. Listen, here's what we have to do. One of the things that this is going back to fear. Okay, we have to not be so afraid of technology to where it paralyzes us. But we also got to learn how to disconnect from this motherfucker because all of us have become so dependent on technology. How many times? We don't even memorize phone numbers and stuff anymore. I used to know phone numbers because I was a walking phone book. Now because we put everything in our phones, child, we will sit up here and tear up the world trying to look for a fucking telephone. Okay, because you lost your phone, you can't find your phone. I've turned around, honey. I've been almost at work and have turned around to come back and get my phone on a couple of occasions. Okay, because I left my phone. And you feel naked without it, and this, that, and other, blah, 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 blah. It has become the communication. And as we said earlier, it's also your tethering device. Okay? Especially if you don't have access to a computer. If you're at work and don't have access to a computer, your telephone becomes your lifeline to the world. Okay? So that there is what we have to contend with. Okay? But we have to find the happy medium. That's what we have to find, the happy medium, because we don't even know how to read a book anymore. The computers that took over so much to where folks don't even like reading a book. They got goddamn Kindles and ebooks and carrying on, which is all computerized. And it's all information that sits down there because now it's not even about the type of listen to. Everything about what it is about society, about you as a person, is being recorded. This is how they find out what you like, what you don't like, and carrying on, and the type of person that you are, or the type of personality created that you are, because of what's going on. You know, you can't even. If I were to sit down there, because I like to read books on what they like to call the occult, which is not the occult, it's magical arts and carrying on, about anything like astrology or dealing with witches, and you know, I like to watch witches and all that kind of stuff. You know, but to do that kind of stuff, if I read that and record all that, then there's a possibility that I could be anti-Christian, anti-this, anti-that. They start to categorize you based on shit like that. You know, and you have the possibility of it becomes ridiculous. Okay. Let me go to this comment. Oh shit, I gotta go to a commercial break too.
Yeah.
They won't be able to make snap judgment on your job about your personal life. They want to be able to. Yes, of course. Because now it all becomes about what it is that you do on your personal. And it's not supposed to be that way. If you didn't hire me on my personal shit, and you keep telling me I can't do personal shit on your job, I can't do this and I can't do that on your job, why is it when I'm posting on Facebook, your motherfucker know it? Why is my personal life becoming a part of this goddamn job? But the catch-22 in that is this, because that's the underlying thing about your conduct outside of the job. And that's not necessarily fair. That's not fair. Because if you don't want me bringing it to my job, then why are you looking for it outside of it? Why are you chasing me down and saying, if I don't talk about my business, I don't talk about my business? Because it ain't got nothing to do with it. This is why us in the African community, I can't go up there and talk about what I did with my sex life and carrying on, because that's considered to be sexual harassment in the wrong circles or whatever. It's sexual harassment. If somebody disagrees, I had that. Listen, this is just before the pandemic hit. I was on my job and I had come back from vacation. One of the housekeepers and I, every time we would meet, we give each other, you know, a big old hug and air kisses, right? Well, we did that in front of my office. And my coworkers at the time, I know which one did it, because this motherfucker went to HR on me and told the HR department that he was offended by that. And so they talked to Henry and they talked to me when I came back. I was like, what are you talking about? Well, the way how you two greet each other. I said, yes. And I didn't jump. Oh, excuse me. Wait a minute. Oh, I had to wet my palate. I didn't jump on that right away because I wasn't thinking about that could have been a possible lawsuit against the company, because that became the whole idea of a homophobic kind of do-I-diddy or whatever. You know, I didn't jump on it immediately because I was appalled. I was like, did you realize and I was 50. I said, I'm 50 fucking years old. I have not had to deal with no bullshit like this in 30 years on a job. 30 years. And now all of a sudden, I got to deal with the fact that I'm a gay man on the motherfucking job. And it became harassment, because now the whole idea of what sexual harassment is on the job has now broadened itself, because I don't have to necessarily be talking to you. I could be talking to somebody else, or you could be walking by hearing a conversation, but because it offended you, it could be considered sexual harassment. Ain't that a bitch? I was so goddamn hot about that, I did not know. I couldn't think straight. Well, I never do. But that just bothered the shit up out of me. And this just happened just pre-pandemic. Okay, this was 2019. 2019. Oh. Red had to go, y'all. You see him pop up out of there? Nikki, you see him pop up out of there?
You ain't slick.
You see him
What y'all
popping
about to
in
do?
somebody there?
I seen him. What y'all think y'all about to do? See, Cupcake getting the toes and stuff done early.
Right, okay.
Mhm.
And then he didn't say he gonna sit up there and wait till something bad. Oh,
You could have waited. I know you
Yeah.
ain't know I was backstage, brother, but you could have waited until I got in. You guys, I'm sorry I have been AWOL. Not really AWOL, because he know I wasn't. Look, he know. I'm not really AWOL, but to y'all I might be. I'm sorry. I am back on Atlanta's Ugly, so we were filming all day, and then my daughter just got in from Jamaica, and she only had like a 35-minute layover, and I really wanted to see her, so we went and got her and like kind of spit the airport, took her back. She almost missed her flight because she wasn't flying on her own airline. She was flying on Delta. That's a whole nother damn story.
Oh.
She's supposed to go to work today. She missed her flight to go back to work. You could not call off and fly. So she had to buy a ticket and get on Delta. And then she got to the goddamn airport, and she got there just in time. Because y'all know sometimes if y'all put in our Google, if you live this close to the airport like me and Meech do,
Yeah.
if you just put in like Delta or something like that, it's going to automatically take you to the international side. Now, she came in international, but she wasn't leaving international.
Right.
Baby, she just made it to the damn gate and got to the gate, and they told her that they had switch gates. I had to wait till my baby said she was on that plane before I came and got in this room, y'all.
Lord.
I'm glad you pulled me up because I remember that. I remember when that happened to you. Remember we talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, I'm like, over some air kisses?
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have the same problem. What? Because it was a male that you did with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if me and you both worked there and we both did air kisses, that wouldn't have been the issue.
It wouldn't have been the
But
issue
because you did it with him. See, that's
I
that
did it with
bullshit
him.
right there. That's
Because
that whole bullshit.
There was a number of females that I do that too. You know, that we got into, we give each other a hug and air kisses, yeah. But it was because it was a dude, honey. When I tell you I was forward, I mean I was motherfucking.
Yeah, when you recapping it, I wish we would have talked about that because that was, man, if you'd have called a damn lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'd be like, Misha can give you a job at the hotel now, y'all. It'd have been dishing tea sweets.
Okay, that part.
And
Now
please
listen.
excuse my lighting, people. Yes, I am in the bed. I'm not getting in front of no backdrop. I'm not getting in front of no lights. I've been filming all day. I'm sorry, but I love y'all.
Oh, okay, listen. She said I've been in front of lights all day. Okay,
Outside,
my vision needs to be.
We were filming outside, so y'all know I'm as old, honey. You got us outside. It's burning up.
Right. Okay.
So we ain't got that much money on Atlanta's Uglies, honey. So when I take breaks, I have to get in my car and turn the air on. Okay.
Okay. How about that? Let me do this. Let me take this quick little commercial break because I got to let my sponsors come up in here.
Oh yes.
And then we're going to continue this because there's a couple other things I want to get at, but I knew this microchip thing was going to be big because I want to talk about this.
Was them saying that there's a microchip or the one that they say that they got?
Oh no! Oh, you missed the videos.
Yeah,
I'm
just getting.
I know you missed the videos. We'll talk about it on the other side of this break because I want to get into these. Why do we have this goddamn milk crate challenge, please?
Somebody put up before you go to commercial. Somebody put up. We will watch each other fall before we build together. Milk crate challenge.
Oh, check a commercial.
Whether you are a resident or visiting the ATL, if you need to satisfy your soul and your hunger with some good old-fashioned scrumptious victuals, then head on over to Tara Boulevard and feast at the Country Kitchen Cuisine Buffet. The Country Kitchen Cuisine Buffet has a mouth-watering array of delicious delicacies that will tempt your tummy, tantalize your taste buds, and please your palates. All of our items on the buffet are made from scratch, just like Grandma used to make. Try our meatloaf, the succulent fried chicken, the smothered pork chops, the short ribs, the fried and baked fish. Try our oxtails, the turkey wings, and don't forget some of those fantastic sides with the macaroni and cheese, cornbread dressing, greens, cabbage, red beans and rice, potatoes and gravy, and oh my God, don't forget the cornbread and those decadent desserts. Your hunger will not be denied. Come on down to the Country Kitchen Cuisine Buffet, located at 8562 Tara Boulevard in Jonesboro, Georgia. Come on down and tell them that Big Meech and Dishing Tea has sent you. Yeah. Angelo Ellerby, the Henry Higgins of hip-hop, is the founder, president, and CEO of Double Exposure Media Relations. Double Exposure Media Relations is a full-service public relations, marketing, and artist development firm specializing in publicity, photography, artist promotion and artist development, makeup artistry, event production, and EPK development. Celebrating over 45 years in the industry, Angelo believes that a culture that does not take care of nor respect its artists is a culture that leaves nothing behind to appreciate. Let Angelo help you make dollars and cents of the entertainment industry. Contact Double Exposure Media Relations at 201-224-6570. That's 201-224-6570. The views and opinions expressed here on Dishing Tea TV are strictly those of the hosts and guests of this program. They do not reflect the views and opinions or governing actions of any of the sponsors or affiliates of Dishing Tea Entertainment, Artist First Entertainment, Big Guy ENT, Atlanta Hot Radio, Black GDP TV, or Diversity TV. Your viewing and listening discretion is advised. All right, and we are back. I want to get back to you where I left. Okay, there we go with the comments, because y'all into this with me today, and I'm very grateful that you are. Okay.
I need to ask a question, because I did look at the comments before I came in. So I did see something about Nene and Greg, and she said he was dying. Did he already pass?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I was watching just before coming on the air with a blogger on YouTube, and what happened at their restaurant, she went.
I saw that. That's what I saw. She said he was home dying and ready to cross.
No, on this clip, she said he's made transition.
Oh.
Yeah. She said that somebody was complaining because
about her being rude.
About her being rude. Yeah. She said.
Just watch.
Yeah.
You talking about binge worthy?
No, that's a very sad news. Oh yeah, binge worthy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I. Wait a minute. I thought she said while my husband is home transitioning.
No, he's transitioned on the other side now.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah. And so he's passed on, she said, and that's
Okay. I didn't watch it all the way through, because when I heard her say that, it made me so sad. Yeah, I stopped it, and that's why I'm like, wait. Yeah, because I just. Oh, dang, y'all. And she said she made a point. You never know what somebody's going through.
Right.
You got to come on and put on a great face and all kinds of stuff. We do it all the time.
Yeah.
I took some time off just for my mental health. I wasn't breaking down. I wasn't going through craziness or nothing like that. But I knew that I needed to just sit there. And you guys, y'all have to understand, like, I can be with my brothers off the camera. But for a couple weeks, this wasn't it, because my soul wasn't in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't in it.
Okay.
So, yeah, y'all understand. Sometimes people be going through stuff, and they got to come on, and we ain't nowhere near as big as those kind of people, but it's everyday people. We forget that our celebrities have everyday lives. They have everyday hurts and pains. They go to the bathroom just like everybody damn else, and they hurt when somebody that they love and care about is going to. And we get so wrapped up into, well, that's your job to be blah, blah, blah. When you see her, you forget sometimes people just be tired.
I'm with my family, honey. Can I have my family time?
And that's exactly what I just meant by that. I could be with Meech and Red not on this camera. That's me being with family.
Right.
And us trying to get through what
Right.
we are all going through. Now, there are a lot of times when I get on here and it does make me feel better. Like, especially if I'm sick, it'll make me feel better to not be wallowing in my illness. But these couple weeks, baby.
Everybody. Okay, everybody.
Every time we thought we was past one, here comes something else.
Right. Okay.
It's that judgment on your job about your personal life. Yeah, they Tracy.
Yeah.
Tracy. They was a mess.
Okay. Every restaurant I've worked had a social media policy that they can punish or fire you for social media misconduct because you represent the company. Yeah, and that's the shit that they pulled. Thomas, oh, well, you represent the company. Not on my private time, I don't.
And if they want that, you have to sign something to say that.
Exactly. You know.
If you didn't sign a social media policy document,
right.
Then you can't tell me nothing. You could ask me to sign one if you saw me do something crazy, and then it would be up to me if I decide to sign.
Right. Okay.
You know,
which is why so many folks have 2 or 3 damn pages under aliases and carrying on.
Right.
So nobody follow you. But I'm like, that's dumb, because if you put your picture up there, all it takes is for some ass to sit down there and say, oh, here you on Facebook. Oh, well, what's his name? Because I can't find it. Oh, well, that's not the name he's using.
Okay. Can I give you guys a PSA real quick? Because I want to make sure I spread this word for you guys and you continue to spread the word. If you are on Instagram and somebody tells you you are the winner, you just won $10,000. Is another one of those like back in the day, like the African scam. I hate to even say that because y'all know but so yesterday I saw this and y'all know my smart ass. I was like, well, what I win? No, I said, well, how I win. You were chosen to be a winner, blah, blah, blah. We give you $10,000. What's your cash app? My cash app on the thing. Send me back a picture. Is this your cash app? Yes. Okay. In order to get this 10,000, this is the same shit that they used to do to people way back in the day. So in order to get to 10,000, you have to pay the $100 fee, management fee. I said, well, if you giving me $10,000, then take the $100 out of the 10,000.
Right.
Y'all, I kept all the screenshots and everything because when I get it together, I'm gonna put it as a clip.
Right.
Make a clip so that all my friends and make sure y'all see. Then after I said, listen, I know it's real late in Nigeria, so I need you to go ahead and go to bed, okay? And then he was like, no, this is legit. Sending me all of these tutorials of people, testimonials of people saying, this is really legit. I got $10,000 in my thing. Let me tell you something. I ain't crazy. And if God wanted me to have $10,000, $10,000 would have been in that motherfucking cash app. You understand? And if it was legit, it would have said pending. And I still would have told you the same damn thing. Take the $100 out the 10,000.
Take it out 10,000 and put in $9,900. Okay.
And then today I won again, y'all, from somewhere else.
Did you win again?
I won again. I ain't even had time to say nothing back to that one. I gotta think of a script that I'm gonna go put together to put in there. But yeah, y'all, please, because there are legit contests and stuff.
Right.
But just like back in the day when they try to get your money telling you you won this or the government owe you this or whatever, baby, the one thing about the goddamn government, if you owe them money, they gonna take it. You understand? Anybody that done ever had their taxes snatched, and they leave you with a little bit. If you owe them, they're gonna give it to you. So please don't fall for that.
Okay.
What you say, Lanier?
It is. When we were making our union contract, the boss is a white male who had a clause put in to be able to fire someone if they did anything negative that went viral on social media. Funny how he used to barbecue. He's used to barbecue Becky's racist antics he used barbecue Becky's racist antics as his example. Yet most of the staff are people of color. Hence why no one on the staff had been fired for that crime he tried. He tried it. Yeah, he did. Honey. No, you misunderstand. With AI, artificial intelligence, there's no need for people to access the info. AI doesn't just record; it can sort the data, determine its content. No need for human involvement. Nobody's snitch. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's how algorithms work.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Hey, I haven't worn a mask or gotten the shot, and I haven't so much as caught a cold through all of this.
Well,
Okay, so that means have you been isolated of some sort? You know,
that's just so, Chris.
because and if you haven't, then honey, God bless you and God keep you. You know, and hopefully you can maintain that because you know a lot of people are saying the same thing. But child, it hasn't bothered me. It hasn't affected me. Like after I done got vaccinated, child, I done had 3 different people tell me, "Oh, well, honey, I'm so sorry for you because I didn't have no side effects for neither one of them. It didn't do nothing to me. There's a sore arm. Well, they injected me. I'm like, oh, well, okay, that ain't my testimony, honey." Unfortunately, the hospitals have to help people and their rights and choices. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see. I have a post that came out today that says he is dying. Not dead yet. That was earlier. I think that came in earlier. But yeah, this thing here said that he done passed on. Okay. I peeped that big red. Okay. Okay.
Well, he was slick, Tracy.
Right. It's crazy, isn't it? The company trying not to offend gay people end up trying to write up the gay man for being gay on the job.
Come on, I couldn't have wrote that better. He said we stepping forward or backward. Maybe we don't know. To the side.
What?
Shit. To the side. That's how we step in the zigzag.
EBB. Ashata. Okay, come on, Tia. You know, ever since she played that woman speaking in tongues, child, I'm stealing it, honey. I tell her, no.
Now y'all know how I want no names or at least a description of who went to HR over you, so I know who to come after.
You know who did that motherfucking bullshit? They goddamn Yale. You know that motherfucker. And yes, I say his name because it ain't no secret. I couldn't stand his black ass.
Listen.
That goddamn Yale.
Sunday, so he said what he said. Y'all heard me?
Shit. Motherfucker.
And
of course, at the time, Sherry Ann was our HR manager at the time. She's no longer with the company. That's that Amy. Sherry Ann left. Yeah, and she wouldn't tell me who. Of course, she's not supposed to. But as I went over that, he was the only motherfucker there when it happened. So yeah. Okay. Well, we got everybody get through things. We have to have compassion. Yeah, this is true.
Right.
Okay. They're going to try to slip that social media document in during the hiring process, along with with the stack of paper that you have to sign in seconds. Watch and see. Okay. Okay.
I read stuff. They be mad at me, honey.
No, I've been out and about and everything. Then again, I'm young and healthy. So if I did catch COVID, odds are I'd be asymptomatic. And that there is now. See, that's the problem because a lot of folks are asymptomatic. They don't even have any symptoms of what the hell is going on. So then you become the super spreader because you don't even know what's happening. You know, so as long as now I'm sure your hand sanitizer they carried on and this, that, and the other. But otherwise, in that's where the problem comes, which is why it's making this such a deadly thing because of asymptomatic children. See, with HIV, if you're asymptomatic, that means that you didn't show signs that you were positive. But if I took a blood test or whatever, because I'm sexually active, it'll still show up. But with COVID, if I am asymptomatic, I have no need to go get tested.
To go get tested.
And that's what Dr. Fauci told the folks. Well, I don't have any symptoms or whatever, so I don't have to get tested. I'm not going to get tested. He said that out of his own motherfucking mouth. And then the question became, well, fucker, if you ain't gonna get tested, why the fuck you telling everybody else to get tested? Boom. Okay. Thanks for sharing about your addiction. My ex was a sex addict. How does one deal with that when you love the person and you know they love you? Here's what this is, sweetie. You deal with it like this. When you recognize triggers, there's nothing you can do to stop it. Okay. What you have to do is have a conversation. But you said this is your ex. So I'm sure that the behavior itself was too much for you to bear because that became a deal breaker. You know, it became a part of something that I'm just unequipped to handle, you know, and I'm going to point you in the direction to say this. I know for me, when I'm dealing with folks, you know, and a lot of times it's other folks who I can hear because I hear me coming out their mouth. Anytime I hear myself come out of somebody else's mouth, when it comes to sex, I'm like, oh no, that's addiction talking. That's talking because when I know it because I identify it because it's the same.
You need to do like almost I don't want to call it a tutorial, but maybe like the signs of sex.
You know, and
it could help some people.
It can because a lot of folks who don't know it, it becomes this. It becomes this, especially in relationships, because you'll hear this all the time. Folks will say, well, he has a higher sex drive than I do. You know, or she has a higher sex drive than I do. And okay, and in a lot of cases that could be it. But now let's look at the reasons why they're having the sex. Okay, because that there is where it's hard to determine because it's different for every individual. Okay, for me, it was power. I got addicted to the power. I got addicted to being one of the beautiful ones and this, that, and the other, you know. And then the whole idea, when I got into my element, it was divide and conquer. And like Teddy Pendergrass said, the more I got, the more I want. Because I couldn't stop. You know, because I'm chasing a high, basically. You know, you're chasing a high. Because like the first time that you get that one good nut, especially if it was the bomb sex, that's what I'm chasing. Because we got to duplicate that. Okay. You got to duplicate that. And most of the time that's not going to happen. And one of the things that's one of my triggers is that when I get too far gone and start to act out, the first one is never right. And what I mean by that is either it's going to be one that's going to be the bomb diggity that I'm chasing, or it's going to be so fucked up to where now I got to make up for what I lost, and then, okay, because you wasted my time.
I say, listen, sorry, y'all, that ain't gonna be one y'all could get for free because I'm already in my head producing. That's gonna be stuff y'all gonna have to get over when we get to the channel.
Okay, yeah.
Because I think that is something that can probably help so many people, and not just the people who are sex addicts or maybe think that they are, but the people who care about them.
But here's where it is too, because there's sex addicts, there's love addicts, because there's a lot of folks who are addicted to love. Okay, and sometimes those go hand in hand. Because one of the things that we have realized is that addictions travel in packs.
Yeah.
Okay, they travel because I'm like what I had to learn was a food addiction was a subsidiary of my sex addiction. Because whenever I knew my triggers, right, my physical triggers, and once I had mastered those, there's an emotional side of this motherfucker I knew nothing about.
Oh wow! So it's like the person that's trying to stop smoking cigarettes, so they start eating a whole bunch, and then they get
Yeah. Yeah. There's an emotional side of this because, see, that's when my jealousies and shit would kick in. I would get into this whole rage because somebody that I was attracted to that only see me as a friend.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Only see me as a friend. But now, you know, I got to sit down here, and because we're friends, we're talking about everything. But now, you know, we're sharing stories, and now I got to listen to you tell me about you going on a date or you having, you know, this, that, and the other. And thinking I could handle it, a lot of times I couldn't.
Wow.
You know, but I was living vicariously through it. So even though I wasn't having sex with you, you telling me you having sex, I could put myself and emote myself there, which was doing me a good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, well, don't say no more. I'm telling you, this about to be a whole documentary, baby.
Oh, so I knew you were gonna go there.
Let's go on back to talk about what you were talking about before I got here.
Dan, what you have to do is love them enough to let them see themselves. And it's gonna hurt. It's going to be a whole bunch of use a motherfucking lie. I ain't like that, this, that, and other. Because a lot of people don't believe that it's an addiction. There's a lot of people that don't believe sex is an addiction. Okay. It took me 2 years to be able to say it. And that's when I went to therapy. I went to my therapist and he said that to me. And I damn near cussed his white ass out. He was white. A gay white therapist named Stephen Fleck. He stood up there and said that. I said, motherfucker, I sure as hell did. I sure as hell did. I said, motherfucker, what is this? And the first time that I said it out loud, I said it to my mother. I said it to my mother because I was having a moment and you know, it was going through and I was telling her some things I had talked about in therapy. And one of the things was about my father not being my father. You know, he wasn't there for me. And that was the first time that I said, and I said it. And for me to say it, I broke down and cried like a baby because I was like, did I just say that out loud? And then what the ramifications of what that meant, the shame and this, that, and another. I just cried like a baby. I cried like a baby. So at that particular point, that's when I was able to now empower myself because I had to remove the stigma from me.
Wow.
In order to now, and then on top of it, then you got to learn how to have sex healthily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the part. See, that's the part I want to be able to get into with.
Yeah. So
I want to understand because now that I'm thinking back, I want to understand how does somebody determine that, like, is it if it's just a high sex drive or if it's a sex addiction? How do the person that they're with determine that?
Oh, that's easy.
Well, tell me because I need to understand.
A high sex drive is a person who is, you know, because they're really into you. Okay. And they may want one long round and then they may want to go again, you know, because they got the freak in them. But, you know, because when they're done, they're done. Okay. When they are done, they are done. They're ready to go to sleep. They're ready to do whatever.
There's a high sex drive, somebody that just want to do it all the time, or is that sex addiction?
Well, here's what it is. A high sex drive, a person who was usually sexually into something or whatever, yeah, they want to have sex multiple times or whatever the case may be. But now let's look at it. When it becomes addiction, you can hear addiction because now it becomes how they fantasize about this. They get caught up in the fantasies. They get caught up in, you know, okay, yeah, I know I'm with you, but they may be looking at everything else that moves. Everything that come out of their mouth start to be about what sex would be. And then it becomes the whole progression of, oh, we could do this, and then this could be, and they start to live in the fantasy of it. And then you can see them get hyped.
Okay.
When they start to get that hype.
Yeah, I think well, not me, y'all. And because my thing was always that I know that mine is low.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I'm not one of those people that if I'm mad, we done had an argument, we're going to be like people on TV and make up having sex. No, bitch, if I'm mad, you better stay the hell away from me for as long as possible. I ain't doing that. If I don't like you, I don't like you. Like if I ain't all the way into you, I don't want it. You don't got on my nerves. You did something to me, and I'm not gonna be able to forget it.
Okay.
So I think it was a combination of me not being that sexual to begin with, and then somebody else wanting it all the time.
Right. Right.
And even when I would say to myself, like, you got to do better. Let's just say this was one of my husbands, not the first one. We were fine. Look, because that's the other thing about it. If I'm like totally in love and all kinds of stuff like that, then I'm with it. I'm with it. But the thing is, it would be like in my mind, I'm like, you can't do that. You can't be like, just because you're not that sexual, you gotta, you gotta try to do things that could, but
Yeah, and that's what it is. So, and I know for me, we'll get off into this because there's a number of things and how it started and this, that, and the other. Because for me, I just thought that, I knew I've always been a sexually enterprising person, and I knew the older I got or whatever, I thought that, hell, my sex drive was increasing because like the freakier I got, it was like, oh, okay, yeah. My sex drive, and like where most folks peak is where I would start at, and then
shit,
yeah, most folks will peak on that.
Look, it's 11:24, y'all. I only had to 11:30 because you gotta go to work tomorrow.
Okay, so
but Big Meech, but when I get off this thing and Big Meech, I'm a clip something if he still talk about this because I'm telling y'all, we making this a documentary because it's interesting, it's informative, and it can help a lot of people on both sides of it. Like that is, it really is. It really is because for some people it can answer a lot of questions.
Nowadays it's hard to determine because people withhold sex for leverage. Exactly. I always question the difference in having a healthy sex life and sex addiction. Yeah. Especially with everybody going through their freakiness and what they like to do and this, that, and the other. Because that was another thing I had to determine because I like the group thing and this, that, and the other. So I had to learn what's healthy for me and what is not. Okay.
And for me, I'm not, it's my trust issues.
Yeah.
Even if I love you, like I done told you, I've been married 3 times. Even if I all the way love you, like I don't trust nobody. I ain't no freak. And I got the damn near, we done had to have a blood or something for me to be super, like do some really crazy stuff. But that's what I'm saying. Like I could always say, like me and my first husband, we ain't no damn issues.
Okay.
Not at all, because I was totally, hopelessly in love and all that stuff. He ain't shit, but I was, you know what I mean? And I trusted him. You know what I mean? Other people, even though I was married more after 2 times after that, I didn't trust anybody enough because even after that, it was the trust. The trust was, my heart was broken then.
Right.
I had regular trust issues from childhood trauma. And then my first husband really, really broke my heart. So that was extra trust. And I don't trust people enough. Like, you know how people be like, oh, I'll take some pictures for my, my significant other or something like that. Baby, ain't nobody got no naked pictures of me. No how, no way, never. If you can't see me in person, I ain't taking no stuff. I'm not video chatting with you naked. I ain't popping out a booth because you won't Snapchat and screenshot. You know what the hell I mean.
Not
I heard the old lady come out of me. I heard the old lady come out of me that time. You won't screenshot a damn thing of me. And that's so crazy because I'm sure I will be in a relationship where if somebody asks me that, that's going to be an issue because I'm not doing it.
Then get a hold of me if you want to talk more about it because this is what we do, and like we said, we put a documentary together on my experience because every person's deal about with addiction is different.
I'm gonna search out some people. If you guys know anybody who's either had a sex addiction, going through it, or their spouse or whatever at the time, please hit us up and let us know, because I do want to do this. Sometimes people need help with things they just don't understand. And this is an important subject. Like, people think about like a sex addiction, like it's not really an addiction. I've heard people say that, oh, it's just sex. How you addicted to sex? I believe that it is an issue that people need to be just as informed about as you are with drug addictions or alcohol addictions or gambling addictions. People need to be informed. So
okay.
Well, me's gonna keep talking. I'm gonna keep listening. I gotta get ready to go to bed, or I gotta go to work.
You silly. I'm trying to think of the name of a movie. It was a movie that came out not too long ago. I think it was a Tyler Perry movie, not Temptation. What's the name of the damn movie? Was it called Addiction? I think it was called Addiction.
What's the movie set? Was that Tyler Perry's?
I think it was called Addiction. Is that 2014? Let me see. Yep, that's what it was called. It was called Addiction. Yeah, with Boris Kojow.
That's what it was about?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I saw that.
Yeah, there was Boris Kojow was in it, and my girl Sharon Liel, I think that's how you pronounce her name. Get into that, because look at that movie, and it'll give you an idea, okay, and then it helps to get your questions and stuff formulated and things of that nature.
Right. Okay.
When I watched it, I lived it, so I was like, oh, I know this.
Okay.
You know,
okay. Cool.
I know this. And, oh, I know this. And, oh, God, I remember them days. Okay. And carrying on. And you know, let me say this out loud, because one of the phrases that I hate people saying is, well, I've done some things that I'm not so proud of.
Oh yeah.
And the reason why
I'm not proud of.
I know what they mean when they say it. Okay, I'm not heartless. I know what we all mean when we say it. At the same time, I don't need you to try to save face. Okay, because that's a save face line for me. Okay, I hear everybody has a past.
Right.
Okay, I've done some things, some good things, some not so good things, honey. Okay.
And everybody, anybody said that they
when I was in it, it was fun. When I was in it, it was hell as well. But shit, when I did it to have fun. I knew it. Okay. But it didn't serve me, because I could not grow positively from it. The growth that I had in it was a negative growth in my life, because I lost control.
Oh.
You know, I lost control. And that's the other thing that a lot of folks who in addiction, they don't realize when they're out of control.
Yeah.
They don't realize it, because they, you know, and yeah, we'll get into it.
Y'all, listen, I'm gonna be like my brother and just leave y'all. I'm gonna say good night. I love y'all, and I miss y'all. And hopefully on Friday things will be back to normal.
Okay.
Y'all pray for me. I have my good days, I have my bad days. Just know, just because you don't see me next to him, he right around the corner, so my ass see him all the time.
Okay. Right.
I love y'all.
Okay, baby. Good night.
All right. Good night.
All right, let me go here. I want to finish up these comments and carry on. I was trying to get to a couple other things. Nowadays, it's hard to determine. Oh, I just read that. Because people withhold sex for leverage and things. I question the difference between a healthy sex life and addiction. Okay, what'd you say? Thank you. Okay. Same here, Nikki. Okay. My ex had a sex addiction, drove her to run off on me and steal some shit on the way out too. Really? Okay. Wow. Interesting. Good night, Nikki. Okay. So yeah, we're going to visit that and things of that nature, because oftentimes, you know, there's a complete difference between a healthy sex life, those who enjoy sex. And, it's one thing to be promiscuous and things of that nature, especially if you have a single life, if you live in a swingers life or whatever. There's some differences because you have boundaries, you have determinations and things, and you know what you're control of. You know how to bow out when you didn't have enough, and this, that, and the other. But there are those times where most folks who are dealing with addiction, they have lost control. When they've got to the point of no return, it's going to take something drastic to happen for the evening. Either they're conked out and can't do anymore for the night, or something has happened to where it's like, God forbid, an arrest and carrying on. I know one time I was in the bathroom back home in Detroit, and it was my spot too. I just happened to be the only person in there at the time. And I heard the guy come in, and I was getting prepared myself to, show my wares or whatever. Just happened to be the police officer. And when I caught his uniform, I was too late to try to cover myself up. And so he made me leave, right? Well, since you want to play with it, you might as well get the fuck up on the body here, white guy. So I left, right? And because there was nobody else in there. Well, I took my ass up the steps, down the hall, came down the back elevators, and I ended up going right back in there. I slid behind him so quietly, honey, he didn't even realize I had went back in the bathroom because the door was noisy. So what I did was I opened the door, and instead of letting it slam close, I ended up holding it so it would close, so he wouldn't have a reason to come back in. And so I went back to my stall and waited until the children came in and did my due. And I was there for 4 hours. And then I left there and then went to my other spot. I was there for another 3 hours. Then from there, I went to do what I was supposed to be going to do, to go check in. And then after that, went back to my secondary spot for another 2 hours before I went home. So I didn't get home till maybe like 11:30 that night. And this is all while I was in high school. And I got out of school at 2:15. So I got to my spot at 3 o'clock. So from 3 to 7, I was there. Went to go check in. Then from 7 to 10, I was at this spot. Went back to go check in again. And then went down here for about another half hour. So I got home about 11:30 that night. Sometimes I would get home at midnight and things of that nature because I'll be out, carrying on. So there was that. But I wanted to get into the crate thing. I don't understand about this old stupid ass crate challenge. And why do we make up these ridiculous challenges? These fucking challenges, honey, have just been some of the most ridiculous bullshits. Okay. And we get stuck in why? Why? How come we have not done anything positive with these particular challenges and carrying on? And every time somebody says, I challenge you to do this, and another, because it doesn't, it's too pro-black, it's too pro-this, it's too pro-good, it's too pro-whatever. Folks won't gravitate to that shit. But they'll always gravitate to this gladiator-style shit. Shit that's sitting up there watching you bust your ass and watching you do something ridiculous. And, the cinnamon challenge. Y'all know damn well can't nobody eat cinnamon like that, but you're going to kill yourself trying to do a goddamn challenge. The children with the goddamn alcohol. Why in the hell do you think you can burn your ass? Literally put alcohol on your ass and burn it. And this, that, and the other. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We were talking about sex. I wanted to get into the porn star Ron Jeremy. Former porn star, because he's not in the business anymore. But do y'all know that he has had, he's been indicted for rape charges, that he has 30 different rape charges that go all the way back to 1993. He's a porn actor, honey. And I need to hear these women sit up there talking about something. He raped them and carried on. And I know everybody's saying, oh, we need to learn how to listen to the women and stop blaming the victims and this, that, and other. I'm going to tell y'all how I feel. Okay? Yes, listen to them and carry on, but scrutinize the fuck out the goddamn story. Because there's a lot of times where folks are saying something and what you thought was rape was not rape. It was something going wrong. You said, yes, you didn't get what the fuck you wanted to get out of it. And now you think you're going to destroy someone's reputation, or you're going to get even and be vindictive and shit. This man was a porn star. Porn. He was heavily known in the porn industry. And all of his charges came from women out in California. California, they knew who the fuck Ron Jeremy was because of the places that a lot of the shit that's coming out talking about that he was with these girls and this, that, and the other, blah. You knew who the fuck he was. Hell, he's done video of him going up to folks and meeting women and carrying on and would grab them and hug them and shit. And they was up there, you know, and because of who he was with his porn celebrity status. So I need more information on the actual charges, because on the surface, fuck it. I just think somebody got it out for him, and now they're trying to sit down here and make some shit happen. What we got? How far away will be the Russian roulette challenge? Okay, right. Okay, maybe some of these idiots would be where they belong, in the grave. And you know what? How about that? Okay, how about that? Okay, with the crate challenge, these idiots are putting crates on grass, unstable ground. They are adults. They should know better. It's scary to think that they are allowed to procreate. Shaking my damn head. Okay, right. What you say? But the crate challenge is hilarious to watch, though. It's hilarious because you see big motherfuckers who ain't got no business doing that shit up there. Okay. Was Jeremy on The Apprentice? You know what? I think so. Was Ron Jeremy on? He may have been. He may have been. I think so, but I don't know. Let me look that up, because I thought he may have been. Okay. Because he may have won, didn't? Wait a minute. He may have been, child. Oh, Lord, honey. Was he? I think he was on Celebrity Apprentice. Wait a minute. Was he? Because I thought he was. Because I thought he may have won. Oh, no, he was on The Surreal Life. That's what it is. Okay. He and Vanilla Ice star in The Surreal Life, which was on the WB. Okay. Now, I thought he was on The Apprentice. I knew he was on one of them damn things, but yeah, okay. Whatever. Anywho, I'm just trying to understand all of this. And, yeah. What you say? I agree. Means people twist things. He was a well-known porn star. Somebody wants to check. Okay, how about that? Okay. He was on The Apprentice before. Okay. I think he was on The Apprentice. He was definitely on The Surreal Life. Okay. I thought he was too, but okay. In any event, honey, he's been indicted on 30 charges of rape, and they broke it down. So look at, y'all can Google that on TMZ. I had it already yesterday because we were going to talk about it yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to it, and I'm skimming over it now. And carrying on, and talk about these goddamn crate challenges and carrying on. This is the stupidest shit. It's just dumb. It's dumb. What's supposed to be the prize? Is somebody supposed to win any money if they complete it? I've only seen one guy complete it, and it was an African guy. And the crates are different. They were over in Africa somewhere. Same amount of crates, but the crates look sturdier and things of that nature. He was a much smaller guy, you know, and he got up there and went up and came on back down or whatever, you know, without them falling and things of that nature. So, child, why are we looking or succumbing to being barbaric all over again? That there is what I would like to know. Why are we resorting to barbaric principles and stuff again? Are we saying that the human id is just a barbaric sensation? Because we still like Ultimate Fight Challenge. Listen, I can't watch that shit. You know, after you see that, and they hitting for real. It's different than boxing. I could watch a decent boxing match because after so long, somebody gonna come in and try to break it up. But child, when them folks get to fighting and carrying on with these Ultimate Fight Challenges and shit, Those are real hits, no gloves, and you going for blood. You trying to break blood. No. And then this is the folks that you don't know. You fighting strangers simply because you're fighting. Why? You know? And that's just too barbaric for me. I just can't. I can't. You know, the MMA fighting is a little different than the ultimate fighting. Although it's in the same realm. The MMA shit, you know, some of that is from what I've seen, you know, it's a little bit more structured than the ultimate shit. But in any event, child, that there, as I said, what I said Sundays, honey, I'm going to let you guys get ready to go and enjoy the rest of your evenings. I'm trying to get caught up on the Oval because I want to see what's going on here. I know they have a second season. I have not gotten through the first season. I'm trying to get together because I'm waiting for Ruthless to start over for season number 3. And I got an inside track that there's going to be some cross episodes and carrying on. So y'all know Ruthless is a spinoff of the Oval. So they're supposed to be doing this dynamic. So that there is that. I'm looking to see what's going on. And then I got to get ready. It's going to be a long work week. Okay, I do my regular, but then Friday and Saturday, after I do this, because I'm going to come on, I'm going to have to go to the donut factory afterwards because we got a new boss and carrying on, and he asked me to come in. I'm trying to show my loyalty to them. Plus, I could use a couple extra dollars. So, okay, let's be real. And that's that. What you got, TJ? Stormy Daniels was that Rod Jeremy's birthday in 2007. Maybe Trump is the driving force between the debacle going on now, perhaps. Okay, I find it quite hypocritical how people in the industry abandon porn actors when they come under such scrutiny for such crimes. Yet many of these fantasies, quote unquote, they create in the movies greenlight rape culture. Oh, good point. And I say this as a former gay porn actor. So I know they want me to shut the fuck up, but I won't. What a wonderful way to end that, because that there is juicy right there, Lanier. So on that note, honey, you may finish all of your crumpets, my darling, because the tea has been dished. And you've been dishing tea, darlings, right here with Big Meats. If you love me, tell a friend, share the episodes, have conversation and carrying on. If you hate me, tell all of your motherfucking enemies and share this with your enemies. But in any way, shape, style, form, or fashion, however you do it, honey, just know this. Everything that we do over here at District T Entertainment will move forward. Okay? Until the next time, my darlings, I want you guys to do what you need to do to protect yourself, to stay safe. If that means getting vaccinated, then go get the shots. If that's not meaning that for you right now, then make sure you're doing what you need to do to adhere to universal and omniversal precautions. Keep your distance from people and carrying on, and do what you have to do to maintain your own safety. Okay, you still have choices in this damn thing. Just make sure that your choices are the best ones for you. All right. So, and on that note, my darlings, and see.